Good morning and welcome to the DFS YouTube channel. I am Razzle11 and you can find me on X at Razzle11Grinds. I'm going to take a look at pitching for today, Thursday, the 10th of August. We just have two 4-game slates to work with. Wasn't really going to do a video, but thought maybe we'd just look over it quick. Talk about some weather. Baltimore 20 to 25% chance of a PPD, and then 35% chance of an in-game delay. Um, so there is definitely some worries in that one. Some slight rain possibilities in Pittsburgh as well. Just a 15% delay risk. Um, really quick stuff in Detroit and Cleveland. Currently a 10% delay risk in each of those. Evening slate wise, Philadelphia 25% delay risk, and Boston a 25% PPD risk and a 45% delay risk this evening. So there is some rain in some, quite a bit of these slates. So that's definitely worrisome. Even a 10% in-game delay risk in LA tonight as well. So Tampa Bay is the only game, which obviously is in a dome, that doesn't have a delay risk at this point in the morning. It's a little worrisome, but we'll look at the pitching as if all games are going to play. But again, we have to assess the risk once we get closer to first pitch. So starting with the 4-gamer day slate, Maeda against the Tigers. Maeda has looked pretty good since his return from the IL. There was some talks about him moving to the bullpen, but the Twins have dealt with some other injuries to keep him in the rotation. Plus, I just don't think you'd want to move Maeda to the bullpen. He is a minus 160 favorite against the Tigers team. Tigers put up some runs yesterday, but I like Maeda in this one. He shut down the Tigers first time he faced them. Might have been a season high in K. Oh, second highest K outing. He did strike out 9 against Miami and 9 against Seattle and 9 against Kansas City. But he has multiple 8K games. He's had 7+ Ks in 4 straight starts. Definitely should be one of the more popular options on this slate. Hunter Brown in Baltimore with weather, but he's been best on the road. His home runs are up on the road, but I don't know if I expect that to be the case today. His strikeouts have come down. Home runs are up just recently. If I remember correctly, now I don't have his splits up. I'm going to bring them up quick on my other screen. To begin the year, I know he was really severe reverse splits. It looks like they've evened out. If he was a severe reverse splits guy yet, that would make him a stronger play in this park against this team. But with him kind of evening out, this game does have a 9.5 total. Houston is a minus 120 favorite. I just don't know that I want to go too heavy on him. Obviously, with a 4-game slate, you need to pretty much consider everybody. He might be able to eliminate 1 or 2 guys, but overall, with a 4-game slate, things can get a little weird at pitching. So you do need to consider everybody. So with that being the case, I'd probably consider like Hunter Brown a 15% play, pending any weather updates. Bryce Elder has not looked good, the second half. He had a 2-straight start stretch against the Brewers where he was solid. The issue is the Ks aren't there anymore. They've completely disappeared. Never really a big K guy, but he still had the 6, 7, and 8 in his range of outcomes. He hasn't gone above 4 since June 22nd. Walks are up. There are some home run issues recently as well. Pittsburgh's been difficult in this series. Atlanta is a minus 210 favorite, but the game total's up to 10 right now. Um, I think I would rather, get a little more exposure to Hunter Brown than Bryce Elder. But like I said, everybody should be in play for the most part. Dean Kramer, home run issue. I don't like the home run issue, but he has upside. It's a tough matchup. There is K upside with him. Um, I just not really in love with the spot. Uh, Worried about Kyle Tucker, Yordan Alvarez in this matchup, to be honest. Looking splits wise, yeah, 14 out of the 23 home runs he's allowed have come to left-handed bats. Left-handed bats with an OPS of 886 against them compared to 674 by righties. Uh, that's going to be a tough spot for me. But again, crappy grouping of games, just four. So we do have to consider him because he easily could find his way into the top two pitcher scorers on this little slate. Reese Olson, we already mentioned the Twins are the favorite. Game total of just 8.5. He did dominate against Minnesota the one time he faced them. Hasn't been strong at home, but I think there's some a little bit of unluckiness there. His other numbers around his home starts haven't pointed towards an extremely high ERA. Hasn't been good the last three starts, so that is a worry. But there is a K increase in him against the Twins. This game has a total of just 8.5, which is the lowest on the early slate. Do we really have to consider Alek Manoah? This is the biggest what the heck do I do spot for me, just because I just think Manoah is trash at this point. He's been far better on the road. It's been decent since his return from his minor league stint or whatever. Maybe we do have to consider him. He's a minus 140 favorite in this game. I'll probably reluctantly end up with 20 to 25% Manoah, but it is what it is. Bailey Falter against the Braves. If there's one guy that I removed from my pool today, it would be Bailey Falter, I believe. I liked him with the Phillies, just didn't really get a chance this year. Atlanta, huge team total, huge favorite. I just don't think I can go there. Syndergaard, probably another one that I could get away from if I needed. 2 starts with Cleveland was decent against Houston, but just 0 strikeouts. And gave up 4 home runs to the weak White Sox team. So, excuse me, I'm not sure that I really want to trust Syndergaard either. But, I mean, with these two guys down here, I think there's a good chance we can eliminate them. In the I don't know what it is, 3 to 5% chance that they ended up with the second highest fantasy point total on this slate. I think that's a decent enough number to fade, to be honest. So let's take a look at the main slate here. Starting at 5:40 Central Time. We already talked about some weather issues. We have a 10.5 total in Boston, 9.5 in Tampa Bay, 9 in Philly, and then 8.5 in LA. Kershaw be expected to return from the IL. Noah at home, where he's been strongest against the team that was just no hit last night or yesterday. Should be popular. Has not looked good the last handful of starts. But even when giving up runs, he's actually gone for 20 plus DK points as well. Perfectly fine, no complaints. He's a minus 250 favorite. This slate has 3 massive favorites of the 4 games. So, but Noah 10-5, perfectly fine. to jam in. Here's this issue here. Kershaw returning, but he didn't make any rehab starts, I don't believe. Yeah. He has been out for a month and a half. I just have a feeling he's going to. Let me see. I believe he was hurt once this year, right? So maybe not. Was this his first injury this year? Um, like he's just gonna come back and throw what 70 pitches? I don't know. Like I want to believe that he's full go because this is a great matchup for him, but I just don't know. Like he's been dominant at home, all that stuff. The Dodgers are minus 355 favorite. I mean, it's just a clear spot to smash, but what are we going to get for pitch total out of him? That's the big issue. Uh, if you told me we're going to get 80, I think he's perfectly fine. If we're only going to get 70, then I'm worrying about the possibilities. Uh, James Paxton, this game's got a high total of 10.5. Kansas City's been hotter, but Boston is a minus 250 favorite. Paxton looked rough against Toronto, but he does have some strong upside. His K numbers have really come down from his hot start, but I'm still very interested. He has been best at home, which is shocking considering Boston games in Fenway seem to have double-digit game totals every time. I just think he has plenty of upside, and that's why I want to use him, especially on the slate where we don't really have, a ton of pitching options. Corbin against Philadelphia. No thanks. I'm just not going to go there. Uh, he's one guy that if he beats me, he beats me. I'm just not using Patrick Corbin. I mean, I will dig into his history against the Phillies just to get an idea. And if something changes there, maybe I have to use him. But right now, I don't plan on using Patrick Corbin. Zach Littell, little, being stretched out, 80 pitch mark ish. Um, K numbers aren't as strong when he stretches out, but um, at least I'm interested. He is a minus 190 favorite. I don't think he has a ton of upside, but we may not need a huge amount of upside on this particular slate with pitching. Alec Marsh apparently is going to be the long man now. I thought he had been starting games outright, but just no interest against Boston right now. Liberatore against his former team has not looked good. The Cardinals continue to yank him around, and I think that really messes with guys. He came up, made his debut in the majors this year. Well, his 2023 debut in the majors. Dominated Milwaukee, and then all of a sudden was immediately sent to the bullpen, and then had to pitch out of the bullpen 4 days later. Just this back and forth is not good for young arms. They don't really know what their role is. They don't know how to prepare, etc. Um, I think I'm interested a little bit, but the way that he's been throwing of late is just not leading to a lot of confidence from me. Not using block against LA and Cox as an opener, no thank you. So as you see, we just have a limited pitcher pool that allows us to really focus on our stacks and everything on these shorter slates. So there we have it. There's a look at pitching for today. If you enjoy what I bring to you, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on to get the alert anytime we drop videos here at DFS Army. If you want to join us, I'll put links in the description below. You can use promo code RAZ, it's RAZ, for 10% off monthly. And as always, best of luck, everybody.